This one, um, this is one of the times where I actually have like a story that plays through my mind as I work on the piece. And so, this client, a longtime client, and you've probably seen their characters in previous videos. And this time, I think three of the main characters, um, the main cast, three of the main cast, and the main character, his husband, and their friend or something. I forget the details, but so it was semi feedback rain, which means I could do whatever I want, but keep the character design as they appear in a reference sheet or in the reference provided. And so at first, I know I wanted it, of course, at an angle, and then I initially when I first saw it, sometimes an idea comes, and the basic idea was lounging. Like for some reason that just came to mind, and so and then as I start, that's when I'm able to position and such, and I just work with the first thing that comes to mind. So this one, I knew I wanted the friend guy to be in the forefront with the husband in the middle and the main character like asleep on him somehow. Now you saw in the under sketch, I have him with his head in his lap, but I changed that later because it just wasn't looking right. And plus, but mainly it was because I couldn't show all of his body. Because with stream sketches, I don't like to change the dimensions of the canvas. I like to keep it uniform because it just adds time to the piece for me to always, like, even if it's just once in a while, to change the dimensions of a piece just to fit the idea I had that came in mind. So if it doesn't fit the canvas, then I change the idea because that would be much faster for me. And so uh even though it seems like it probably won't be, but it is. And plus it makes things more uniform. Like I want the sketches to be uniform. Like overnight has its own canvas, and stream has its own canvas. Stream canvases I never change, really. Yeah, I don't think I haven't changed the canvas in years, but the canvas dimensions. But with overnight, maybe a couple of times a year, I feel the need because I have time. Like I'm not live where the client is watching. So anyway, back on the story. So uh, the mohawk, the short mohawk guy, he's like the friend or such, and so the idea was them lounging, and I wanted him to look back as if he's like mad dogging someone, or like maybe someone just came in and or someone said some bullshit. It's like, who the fuck just said that? So that's how, like, I'm picturing he's looking back, like he's watching. He's just an observer at the moment, like watching to see where the offender takes their bullshit to. Like if he needs to get up and handle some business. and and that was and here I was, since I want them all to show, and um sometimes this angle, yeah, this angle with the neck and the shoulder, that's one of my problem areas. Like at this angle, I always forget exactly where it is, but I fix it later, and I think it did look better by the end. But anyway, so here I'm drawing the husband, and uh, husband of the main character that's in the slap, and so he of course is going to have the back. he's gonna have his back of the friend of the short mohawk of the goatee guy, and so he's like, so he's not trying to wake up his husband, but at the same time he's like watching out too, like just in case some shit pops off. And I'm thinking they're like at some kind of club or gathering, like a celebration or something, and it's late at night, and that's why his husband sleep, cause he's like tired out. And but oh boy and the friend is like wide awake. And this one, I realized I didn't realize till later, but I kind of got sometimes I do get carried away with the hair, and but I like to do the body first before I do the hair usually, cause if I don't, then I have to go back and erase so many lines that goes within the hair, even though technically it probably could work, but um like cause hair strands, and then you could the excuse could be, oh, it's see through because it's just strands, and I'm like, nah, like it doesn't, like something like that only looks good if I had more time. Like if it was a professional piece, then maybe I could like do something like that where the hair where I could just keep the body lines through the long hair strands and not have it look weird and have it be like, oh, that's just the strands. You can see the body underneath, like in life. But anyway, so then I switched over, and when I do groups like this, also with Stream is the besides Stay Sketch, Stream is the only service where you could have more than two characters. I keep overnight limited because even though it's not streamed, because I want it to go faster, and I don't want to spend so much time on it. And I figure, and plus stream it, having stream with more character with more character option seems to be more lucrative. So it's kind of like a business decision on why I keep stream having like you could do more than two characters. But anyway, so and so the husbands, they have wings while the friend does not have wings. And here, see, it could have worked. I wanted this. I wanted his head on the slab because I can't remember seeing a picture like that in, where two are about to like fuck someone up while one is asleep. So that's another thing that goes to my mind. Like, what have I? Does it match something I've seen before? And I always try to go with the idea that doesn't match with something I've seen before. And so, or at least haven't seen so recently that I remember. But anyway, so so the husband I switched it so I could see show more of his body because the order was full body, and I try to work that in because that's what the rate covers, the full body, or at least more than just the waist up. And even if it's just a leg, like a thigh, it's still I'm like it still counts because it's showing more than the waist up, and it shows more um, life. So anyway, and here the reason I had his thumb over his nose, because I was like, oh, he's stroking his face or something. But then I realized that looks like he's about to cover his nose, like he's. It looks like you could say the story is, oh, he's killing him quietly, like he's holding his airway, and he just finished killing him. Like that could have been the story behind it, but um, like that's the key with illustration. Um, like it may be a story behind it, but if that's not what you, but a good illustration depict shows like what the main intention of the piece. It doesn't leave any like confusion. So like if it was a comic, that would be one thing, but it's just a single illustration, so I have to be more exact a bit to make the idea come across as I want it, and at least the basic idea to come across of them lounging. So I didn't want any depth to be in it. But anyway, so and this character, oh, I remembered he didn't have his arm. I was so proud. Yeah, I actually remembered. Usually I forget, but it looks like I'm getting much better at remembering. And so the husband, he has one wing over the friend a little bit, and his other wing is just behind the sofa thing they're in. So he's not. I think the client mentioned, "Oh, I like how his wings are covering them both." He's only covering homeboy, the friend. His other wing, see, it's like behind the sofa ish, and even though it would have been cool if he was covering him too, but okay, he's about to cover him. He's about to. So this is before he covers him with the wing. uh, so he's about to. I know I just spoke for illustration, but hey, the main point is across, so that's all that matters. I can make up whatever I want afterwards. So, but so with the story, it's just my head canon of it. So anyone viewing, I believe that whenever someone is viewing illustration, the story is whatever they see. Like you can't have like a description and expect people to read it. People are lazy and people don't read. Like even now, I still get comments like, "Did you even read?" That make me think about the person. Did you even read the damn description box? It's like in this stage and age that should be automatic, but it's not. And so like you better make sure whatever you want is in the illustration as is, cause and that it works with comics too. So you have to be able to read it without the text, and if you can, that means it's the pacing and stuff is it's good. But if you can't, then you have to work on it. I learned that a long time ago. But anyway, um, so yeah, I like and right here, it's not that the husband is like being, oh, I'm gonna protect my husband who's asleep here. Um, in my head, he's not thinking that. He just like touching him. He's just like he like rubbing, like petting him of sorts. um, and like kind of like assuring like, oh, you don't have to get up without saying anything, because he'll handle it. Him and the homeboy will handle it. And I'm not too familiar with the characters to know their personality, but I just came up with this right now. So in my head canon, alternate universe story behind this piece, homeboy and husband is like watching out to make sure to see if something is about to pop off and see if they need to get up and handle, like take care of someone who's like acting like a bitch or something. So that's why they're like mostly in the dark. And or alternatively, um the husband could be like a big boss or something, and he's like in the dark not wanting to be seen, and his husband is like the even bigger boss, so like he's the most violent, so he's like, let him stay asleep and we'll handle it. Like we don't want this motherfucker to wake up. So that's the main kind of story behind it. Thank you very much. Bye.